creepy and weird. Sluts selling butts, them buttholes done been sold. Dogs breeding like bugs, rabbits are coat hangers. Killers killing and killing and killing. Nailsin News. 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 Where'd all the money go? Ain't nobody gonna know. Do you trust your meat to take a walk down the street? While killers be killing and killing and killing. Nailsin News. 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 Where'd all the money go? Ain't nobody gonna know. Do you trust your meat to take a walk down the street while killers be killing and killing and killing? Nailsin News. 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 News.
All right, here is the deal. Nailsin News. And I'm dead tired. I've been working on a lot of different stuff. But the good news is it was Nailsin News. Yes, that's right. I pre-taped it. But don't worry. It's all good stuff. And I'll be here. I'll come and check up on you, make sure you're okay. Yes. And if you're really nice and send me a super tip, I'll play them and react to it. Won't that be nice? Yeah. So anyway, a lot of stories. The first one I got to do is an update. Yes, it's very serious and important. That was one I covered earlier, and a little more little detail came out about it. So I got to revisit that right off the bat. And then we'll follow that up with, yes, another teacher sex scandal. And, and I've put in a couple of episodes of Bayou Crime Report. Red Neckerton will handle those. Oh, yes. And then just for shiz-niz and giggles, I added in a few little AI animations of my drawings here and there. A couple of them with Night Night and Sun King. And then I felt there was a missing element for Nailsin News is the weather report. So I used AI to come up with that. So in between stories, you'll get a weather report. See? Finally. Yes. Nailsin News. We're going places. Yes. So anyway, there we go. There we go. And our story begins, as I said, with an update. And we'll get right into that. So strap in. It's time for, you guessed it, Nailsin News. A Nailsin News update. It appears that the asshole who threw a rock at a school bus, fracturing the skull of an 8-year-old girl, is an illegal alien from Mexico. The maniac accused of hurtling a rock at a school bus from New Jersey Turnpike overpass, fracturing the skull of an 8-year-old girl, is an illegal immigrant from Mexico with a long rap sheet. Hernando Garcia Morales, 40, allegedly threw the baseball-sized stone on January 7th at a bus returning to Teaneck after a field trip to the Liberty Science Center. Garcia Morales told cops he believed the bus was the devil or his enemy, whoever that is, when he was arrested 2 days after the attack at a homeless encampment in Palisades Park, New Jersey. Federal officials told the Post the unhinged menace should never have been in the USA to begin with. Yeah, that's true. That's the illegal part, well, before he threw the rock and all that. The Department of Homeland Security does not know when or where Garcia Morales entered illegally into the country, but his criminal history in the Garden State stretches back 2 decades. In 2006, he was arrested for possession of a weapon and theft, and he was in trouble with the law twice in 2023. But he wasn't charged in the sanctuary state. All these privileges illegals have that, homegrown criminals don't get privileges like that. Not usually, not to that extent. On July 23rd, 2023, Garcia Morales was arrested for burglary after allegedly entering a building in Hackensack, New Jersey. Those charges were not pursued. The following day, he was arrested again in Hackensack and charged with giving false information and attempted burglary. Those charges were downgraded by the Municipal Court of Hackensack on September 20th, 2023, and Garcia Morales walked away with only a 30-day jail sentence and $905 fine for disorderly conduct. In 2006 arrest in Hackensack, he was convicted on both charges and sentenced to 330 days in jail. He is a suspect in several other rock-throwing incidents last year, where cars and cops were targeted. He has twice been accused of peeping into homes in Bogota, New Jersey. Despite his illegal status and alleged violence, Garcia Morales never faced deportation because of New Jersey's sanctuary immigration policies. Violently targeting a school bus full of children is extremely wicked and heinous, said Department of Homeland Security Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin. Hernando Garcia Morales should have never been in this country, let alone released after multiple arrests into New Jersey communities. Yeah, well, New Jersey doesn't care about New Jersey communities. I mean, that's obvious, ICE has lodged an arrest detainer against this monster. And we hope New Jersey sanctuary politicians will help us keep him off American streets for good, McLaughlin said. Not if they can help it, Anyway, Representative Jeff Van Drew, Republican in New Jersey, ripped his state sanctuary policies as completely backwards. Oh, look, he lost a tooth. Oh. This is exactly what New Jersey sanctuary state policies produce. When state leaders choose to protect people who are in this country illegally, instead of enforcing the law, they put innocent Americans directly in harm's way, Van Drew said. And once again, a child is the one paying the price. The Department of Justice is currently suing 4 Garden State cities for obstructing federal immigration authorities with policies that prevent local law enforcement from coordinating with federal immigration agencies to deport illegal alien criminals. Meanwhile, the injured third grader is back in her family's Bergenfield home, according to her family and supporters. She's back and recovering well and very happy to hear her attacker was apprehended. Well, just don't tell her he's likely to be released, Anyway, the girl attends Yeshivat Noam School in Teaneck. She suffered a deep laceration on her forehead and fracture the size of a nickel to her orbital bone. She was taken to Hackensack Meridian Hospital, where she underwent surgery with doctors inserting titanium mesh plates and screws in her head to remedy the severe damage. The family hopes that the individual responsible will be prosecuted to the fullest extent permitted by law for his heinous actions, said the family attorney. Garcia Morales has been charged with aggravated assault, resisting arrest, possession of a weapon, criminal trespassing, and criminal mischief in the rock attack. His lawyer, Heather Aguilar, said he suffers from mental illness. He has yet to file a formal plea. Well, sounds like we already got it. Not guilty by reason of insanity. In the mugshot photo after his arrest, Garcia Morales is seen with mouth bizarrely open, flaunting a missing front tooth. Yeah. Well, they can probably give him great dentistry in prison, Anyway, Garcia Morales appeared in Superior Court on January 16th, where Judge Mark Raimondo ruled he would remain in Bergen County Jail until the case is resolved. Just the extraordinary randomness presents that extra level of danger to the community, Raimondo said in court. Yeah, I'm sure they're just now noticing he's also nuts, after 20 years. Now, the usual argument. Hey, we got plenty of weirdos and homegrown creeps and nuts and so on and so forth, and they might throw rocks at little girls too. Yeah, we got enough of those. We don't need the rest of the world's nuts and crazies and creeps and whatever else. We don't. By the way, if you aid and abet criminal activity, aren't you an accessory to said criminal activity? Oh, wait, when you're an elected official, I guess you get a pass. Yeah. So much for equal justice. Yeah. Oh, well, there you go.
And now for the weather from Trixie Turner.
It's freezing cold!
This is your ass. This is your ass in prison. Any questions? This has been a public service announcement reminding you that if you do the crime, you will do the time. Hard time.
And now it's time for the Bayou Crime Report. Well, some crazy bitch got busted for swimming naked in someone's pond. Why would she do this? Well, she says she was trying to be a mermaid, but the real reason is she's batshit crazy. A Louisiana woman's attempt to go for a skinny dip did not end swimmingly after she allegedly attacked a sheriff's deputy responding to a trespassing complaint before finally surrendering to deputies. According to the Union Parish Sheriff's Office, deputies were dispatched in November to a residence in the Linville community of Marion after a caller reported a neighbor standing in their driveway screaming and refusing to leave the property despite having been warned previously. See? Crazy. When a patrol deputy arrived, authorities said the suspect was found nude and swimming in a pond located on the caller's property. Woman, later identified as Erin Elizabeth Sutton, 41, of Marion. Sutton initially refused to exit the pond or speak with the deputy, telling him she was trying to be a mermaid. Well, after repeated commands, Sutton eventually exited the pond. Due to cold temperatures, yeah, I'll bet, well, not as cold now, but yet pretty cold when you're naked. Emergency medical services were contacted to evaluate her. A blanket was provided. And as the deputy attempted to escort Sutton inside her residence to warm up, she had allegedly charged at him. Let's take a look at this mugshot here. Poof. Oh, yeah, she's got the dead eyes. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Anyway, authorities said Sutton ignored multiple commands to comply and resisted detention. The taser was deployed, but had no effect. Sutton was taken to the ground, where she allegedly continued to resist, kicking and punching the deputy before being restrained. Sutton was transported to a hospital for further treatment. During the transport, she allegedly threatened to kill deputies and paramedics. Because Sutton required medical care at the time, deputies later sought arrest warrants, which were signed by a judge in Louisiana's 3rd Judicial District Court. Sutton surrendered to deputies on January 6, 2025. He was arrested on multiple charges, including 3 counts of wait a minute, 2025? What the fuck? How old is this story? All right, you got it wrong. You mean 2026, huh? But you was busted in November. Oh, wait, these are other charges. Fuck! Sutton surrendered to deputies on January 6, 2025, and was arrested on multiple charges, including 3 counts of resisting an officer with force or violence, 2 counts of public intimidation, 2 counts of battery on a police officer, disturbing the peace, drunkenness, and criminal trespass. Wait a minute. 2025? January? That's gotta be a typo. I think they meant 2026. Anyway, her bond was set at $62,000. Considering she had no pants on, I imagine she didn't have the money at the time. But anyway, Fox News Digital reached out to Union Parish Sheriff's Office for additional comment, but did not receive a response. It's not immediately clear whether Sutton has retained legal representation. Yeah, well, they'll get her one. You know, that's the way that goes. Well, I stand by my original conclusion. Ain't nothing fishy going on here. Yeah, no. She just goddamn crazy. For the Bayou Crime Report, I am Red Neckerton, reminding you to keep your goddamn holes clean.
The Bayou Crime Report is a presentation of Nailsin Productions.
Unidentified woman. Now, this is also from the New York Post. The first one I read was from the Daily News. The New York Post had more of a detailed sort of report on this, because it says the woman left behind a handwritten note talking about stress, then just walked to the edge and jumped, according to sources. Bottles of medication were found in her apartment. A source said, looks like depression. Local resident Dimitri Wallace, and this is where it gets interesting, because depression is not that interesting. It's,
It's depressing.
It's depression, yeah. It's just, and people always think they're depressed when they're not, like, legally or clinically depressed. Yeah. I mean, 'cause it's a word that has, like, 2 meanings. You could be just like, I'm really down, I'm sort of depressed, or you can be like, no, I'm about to jump off a fucking building with my dog.
46 floors, was it?
Yeah, 46 floors.
I'm surprised she didn't explode.
I mean, it doesn't say that she didn't. Maybe she did. I mean, I guess she did. I'm sure that, her dog that she had was a rescue, which I'm sure he's like, thanks a shitload. This is not what I had in mind when you picked me up and saved me from death.
How long ago did she get him? Imagine if she just got him like yesterday. Like, I'm going to save you, buddy.
I
And,
thought it would cheer me
yeah.
up. It most likely was as a result of the depression, right? Or to try to ease it, I would think.
Dog, you got 24 hours.
People you start cheering me up, or shit's going to get nasty around here.
I'm going to name you Zoloft.
Well, here we go again. Another teacher caught messing around with a student. This time, she's accused of sexual conversations with a student under the age of 12 through remote learning. A fifth grade teacher in Kentucky is facing criminal charges after being accused of having sexual conversations with a student during online instruction. And she was arrested when she drove to the student's house. On Monday, December 15th, Cindy Graff, 36, of Louisville, was arrested and charged with procuring or promoting use of a minor by electronic means. According to the citation, Louisville Metro Police detectives were contacted by police for Jefferson County Public Schools about the alleged exploitation of a juvenile victim who was under the age of 12 at the time of the offense. During a non-traditional workday when class is held virtually and students and teachers are online, a fifth grade math teacher engaged in sexual conversations with a fifth grade student. Detectives reviewed the alleged conversations between the juvenile and the suspect. Screenshots and video recordings of the conversations depict images of the suspect as well as her name, Cindy Graff, displayed in the top left corner. The conversations included discussions of oral sodomy, with the suspect stating, "I really need to taste that dick." The suspect allegedly made arrangements to meet the juvenile on Monday, December 15th. Graff was apprehended while picking up the juvenile from the area of his residence. Post Miranda, the suspect admitted to the previous mentioned conversations. During her arraignment on Tuesday, December 16th, the court entered a not guilty plea for Graff and kept her bond at $100,000 cash. She was remanded to the Louisville Metro Detention Center, which does not list her as being held or released. Yeah, they might want to get on that. In a letter to parents, Smyrna, is that Smyrna? Yeah, I guess. Smyrna Elementary School Principal Amanda Cooper said Graff will be reassigned. She's on video. She went to get the kid, guy. Man. And will not have contact with students during the investigation. It is unclear whether Graff has retained an attorney who can speak for her about. She'll get one. Well, if you or someone you know has been a victim of sexual abuse, text STRENGTH to the crisis text line at 741-741 to be connected to a certified crisis counselor. Connected remotely. Well, once again, there you go. Hey, look, she'll be reassigned until. I mean, at least here, you've got video evidence of her talking to this 11-year-old, I guess. You can't fire her. It's always this way. Yeah. In other professions, not so much. But here, and these are people who work with children. And well, she hadn't had her trial. Yeah, I know. Innocent till proven guilty, but what else is there? Anyway, there you go. She's still employed in education, pending the results of the investigation.
And now for the weather from Trixie Turner.
It's freezing cold!
Team, stand firm. Protect the planet.
Its energy is surging!
We won't let it win. Eat plasma 3 times.
And now it's time for the Bayou Crime Report. Well, a New Orleans teacher helped some criminal piece of shit escape. Now she's gonna learn her fate. Hey, I'm Red Neckerton. A New Orleans teacher was sentenced in Calcasieu Court today for helping a former student after he escaped from a juvenile detention center in Lake Charles in 2023. Linnell Reynolds, 20, was serving time in Lake Charles after having been convicted of attempted murder for shooting Daryl Scott during an armed robbery in New Orleans in 2019, leaving Scott paralyzed from the waist down. Reynolds was 13 at the time. Authorities say 10 days after he escaped from Lake Charles, his former teacher, Angela Falardo, 33, drove him from New Orleans to Houston. Yeah. Falardo was sentenced to 2.5 years in prison, with all but 1 year suspended. God damn. And 3 years of probation after pleading no contest to accessory after the fact to simple escape in September 2025. Sometime is better than no time, said Scott, who attended the hearing, and she needed to be held accountable. Because she's a role model as a teacher, as a leader. It was your job to tell him, no, we need to go back. Or when you did, it was your job, your responsibility to call police and let them know where you was, but you didn't. Linnell was in an unsecured facility. He had months away from being released. This is something that Falardo could have talked to him about, said Dorothy White, Scott's grandmother. Instead, she wanted to be Wonder Woman. Now, I don't know much about Wonder Woman stories. Mr. Nailsin does, but I don't. But I'm pretty sure she didn't go around helping goddamn attempted murderers escape. Anyway, she wanted to wear that cape. Again, I don't get it. Anyway, no, she's a criminal herself. Anyway, she wanted to take the law into her hands. No, she wanted to take the law and break it. And she did. Reynolds was sentenced to juvenile life for the shooting, meaning he would have been released on his 21st birthday. He received an additional 5 years for the escape. Good. I mean, now that when he turns 21, does the victim get his legs back? Nope. Yeah. Anyway, Reynolds' case is back before a juvenile court judge in New Orleans, where White and Reynolds' attorney is asking for leniency. What the hell? The Calcasieu District Attorney's Office said in a statement that Falardo put public safety at risk by helping Reynolds. The original crime committed by Linnell Reynolds forever changed the life of Daryl Scott, leaving him paralyzed and altering his future in ways that can never be undone. When Falardo chose to assist Reynolds in escaping custody, she disregarded that reality and reopened wounds for a victim who has already endured unimaginable harm. Throughout these proceedings, Falardo has failed to demonstrate remorse or acknowledge the wrongdoing of her actions. Instead of accepting responsibility, her conduct deepened the pain of a victim who has already endured lifelong consequences. Falardo's attorneys asked for a suspended sentence, saying she acted out of concern for Reynolds' safety, a concern shaped by losing more than 10 students to gun violence. Well, you're upset about your students who died due to guns, and you're going to help someone who used a gun. Dumb bitch. The defense said in the filing that upon being contacted by Reynolds, Falardo immediately notified Reynolds' attorney and sought guidance on what he should do. The lawyer was attempting to contact the DA's office to see if Reynolds could turn himself in. Falardo has no prior criminal history. Miss Falardo's actions were driven by fear, urgency, and a deeply ingrained protective instinct shaped through a lifetime of advocating for children whom the system too often failed to protect. This does not absolve her from responsibility. Then what the fuck? Shut your mouth then. But it meaningfully mitigates culpability. No, it don't. By explaining why her judgment was clouded by trauma rather than motivated by disregard for the law. Yeah, trauma don't make no damn sense. She's all upset because too many of her students got shot. So now she's gonna help a shooter escape. That don't make no kind of sense. Anyway, a full statement from Calcasieu District Attorney's Office. When Falardo assisted a convicted violent offender in escaping custody, she did not act out of compassion. She acted in direct opposition of the law and put public safety at risk. The original crime committed by Lynette, yeah, I read all that. Throughout these proceedings, Falardo has failed to demonstrate remorse or acknowledge the wrongdoing of her actions. Goddamn uppity bitch. Instead of accepting responsibility, her conduct deepened the pain of the... Oh, I read that too. This is the same thing. God damn it. KPLC, get together. Come on, man. This case is a reminder that accountability does not end with the person who commits a violent act. Anyone who helps a violent offender evade justice contributes to further harm. Victims, the families, and the community. Our office will always stand with victims and will continue to pursue accountability for those who undermine the justice system regardless of their role or intent. Well, she got her suspended. She got her sentence suspended. She's going to do 1 year. Yeah. Falardo's attorney declined to speak with KPLC, but in a document filed before the sentencing, asked the judge for no jail time due to Falardo's lack of prior criminal history. Yeah, but the crime she committed is pretty goddamn serious. I'm so scared and I'm traumatized. I know, I'll drive him to Houston. Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Reynolds was approaching his juvenile release date when he escaped at the juvenile center and returned to New Orleans. Yeah, this is all stupid. Everything about it is just so stupid. And that's the thing, Why do we keep hiring stupid bitches to teach kids? How can a stupid bitch teach you anything but stupid? Well, you see the results. For the Bayou Crime Report, I am Red Neckerton, reminding you to keep your goddamn holes clean.
The Bayou Crime Report is a presentation of Nailsin Productions.
Oh man, my so tired. Been on my feet all day, cutting hair and shaving beards. But it's all good, 'cause now I can sit back and relax and listen to the Rob Saul Show. Yeah. It's like I'm snuggling up all night with Rob Saul. Ooh, a bed. Oh, bed Stanley. Oh, bed Stanley. Oh. I just needed a little spanking because I was being bad. But you know, sometimes I feel like Rob Saul's bad too. And one day, Rob, I'm going to find you and give you your spanking. Oh, I'm so bad. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm bad. I'm so bad. Oh. An au pair testifying in the BDSM murder plot trial says her lover told her divorce was not an option. The au pair, in the middle of an alleged murder plot, testified that her former lover was the mastermind of an alleged scheme that left his wife and a stranger dead. Juliana Perez Magales took the stand first day of the trial of Brendan Banfield, who was charged with the murder of his wife, Christine Banfield, and Joseph Ryan, who authorities claim was lured to their Virginia home. Christine was fatally stabbed in her home on February 23rd, 2023. Ryan was shot and killed. Brendan, who had engaged in an affair with Perez Magales, is accused of spearheading a plan to kill his wife by creating a profile on FetLife.com, a bondage website posing as Christine. Prosecutors allege that he began communicating with Ryan through the site, allegedly discussing a consensual sexual encounter involving restraints used on her clothing being cut off with a knife he brought, and other violent sexual role play. Video of Perez Magales' testimony was reported by NBC4 and live streamed by Court TV. She testified that Brendan began concocting the plan after saying he wanted to get rid of his wife. Perez Magales testified that Brendan told her divorce was not an option because money was involved. Well, it always is, so I guess. But, yeah. And he did not want to share custody of his daughter with his wife. Prosecutors previously claimed the alleged plan, in order to make it look like a home invasion, involved Brendan giving Perez Magales a gun, instructing her to call Christine's phone when Ryan entered the home, and then to call him as he waited at a nearby McDonald's. NBC4 reported that Perez Magales testified that in the lead-up to the alleged murders, Brendan changed his routine so that it wouldn't seem strange that he was at a McDonald's. I wonder if he spent, some time constantly going to McDonald's because, oh man, does he love, Big Macs and all that. Prosecutors claimed Brendan subsequently received the call and drove home, where he allegedly shot Ryan in the head and stabbed his wife, attempting to frame Ryan in Christine's death. Perez Magales then shot Ryan after seeing him move. In 2024, Perez Magales pled guilty to manslaughter in the death of Ryan. NBC4 reported that Brendan has pled not guilty to charges of aggravated murder. According to the outlet, Brendan's attorney, John Carroll, said in court that Perez Magales was only arrested to flip her against my client. Well, yes. She was in it for the boom boom and whatever, and probably seeking out a sugar daddy, and went along with this crap. And that's typical. The police, when there's two conspirators, they turn them against one another. And who had the most to gain? Well, him. So it stands to reason her story, it was all his idea. Yeah, it's going to work. So she's going to shave some years off. Yeah. Yeah. But I don't know. Was he like, I thought we were in love? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well. So much for that asshole.
And now for the weather from Trixie Turner.
It's freezing cold!
Team, eyes on the creature.
It's aggressive. Weapons ready.
I'll monitor the planet. Firing now.
A woman has been busted and charged with aggravated neglect after her father was found to have bed sores so bad that the bones of his spine were exposed. According to a General Sessions docket obtained by Wate, WATE, a 74-year-old man was transported to the hospital on January 2nd, where staff found that his blood sugar was more than 600 and that he had pressure sores so extensive that the muscle was exposed and 3 of his vertebrae were visible. The man, who has not been named, had a stroke 8 years prior and had become bedbound approximately 6 months ago. Wait reports law enforcement became involved on January 13th after the case was referred from Adult Protective Services. The investigation found the man's caregiver, his daughter Misty McDaniel, 43, had not taken him to the doctor for wound or diabetes treatment in 6 months. She allegedly had not given his medication daily or checked his blood sugar, although a supply of his medication was found in her bedroom. McDaniel and her husband had reportedly been the man's caregiver since 2018. McDaniel was arrested and charged with aggravated neglect of an elderly or vulnerable adult, resulting in serious bodily injury. Wait reports the victim was admitted to the critical care unit. He has undergone numerous surgeries and procedures to treat his wounds. McDaniel was taken into custody and her bond was set at $75,000. Now, the article does not specify these details, but I think it's a good guess that she was cashing his disability checks, his Social Security, you know. Which, okay, you're taking care of. Oh, you weren't taking care of him. You just left him in there to rot. Well, now you can rot for a little while in prison.
And now for the weather from Trixie Turner.
It's freezing cold!
Isn't this a romantic view?
Too bad there isn't a Taco Bell within light years.
Well, it appears a med spa owner posed as a nurse to do IV on a patient. And the patient spotted air in the tube as her hand turned purple. I don't know about you, but that sounds bad. So, yes, the owner of a medical spa in North Dakota was arrested after police found out she did not have a medical license. Oh, jeez. Kendra Kane, the owner of the Royals Medical Spa in Watford City, was arrested after police investigated her practice, according to reporting by the McKenzie County Farmer, a local news outlet. The Watford City Police Department said that Kane did not have a license to perform the procedures she advertised. Police also said that Kane used one of her staff members' licenses to schedule patients, prescribe medications, and perform medical procedures. Boy, she really liked to play doctor. One person who brought Kane's alleged activities to the attention of law enforcement was a registered nurse herself. Yeah, you would think an actual nurse would notice. Wait a minute. That's not how you do that. According to the McKenzie County Farmer, Royals Medical Spa opened in September. It's almost as close. 2025, and was suddenly closed on January 22nd. Well, at least it didn't last too long, you know. Somebody was pretty quick noticing, hey, wait a minute. The outlet reported that police confirmed an investigation into the med spa after a series of complaints were made about the business. Police said Kane was representing herself as a registered nurse with a license to perform a number of medical procedures. Investigators found, however, that there were no records of Kane holding any kind of medical license, including a nursing license. Kane allegedly used a staff member's license to carry out a variety of tasks that required such documentation. When police showed up at the med spa on January 22nd with a search warrant, they found a patient treatment area containing a used IV bag, tubing, syringe, needle, bandage, and an open sharps container. Well, you know, to save on the cost of supplies, you know, she just reused stuff. Police also saw fresh fluid on the floor near the IV. The next day, police spoke to the Royals patient, who was also a nurse. Oh, gee. I mean, I don't know. He said, well, I don't want to embarrass the lady, but wait. No. That's not how you do it. She told police that while she was receiving treatment at the med spa, she had to coach Kane as she inserted an IV. Yeah, that's a problem. Could you get someone else? The patient claimed that Kane allegedly left the tourniquet on her arm for too long, causing her hand to turn purple. She told police that while the IV was inserted, she observed air in the tube, which she noted could result in an air embolism that had the potential to cause fatal complications. Police arrested Kane and charged her with reckless endangerment, unauthorized use of personal identifying information, deceptive writings, and practicing as a nurse without proper certification. After being booked into the McKenzie County Correctional Facility, she was released from custody. Well, boy, she really wanted to play doctor, nurse, whatever, you know. Now, there's a curious thing here. It says she used the license of one of the staff. She's the owner of this. She could be the owner and the manager, I guess. Why couldn't she just have the staff do the IV and all that? Probably didn't want to pay her for the amount of time. Probably only had her part-time, huh? Plus, she's reusing stuff. Needles and everything, you know. Yeah, she's not only is she criminal and lying, but she's cheap. Anyway, there you go. You got to vet these things. But of course, you know, customers and whatnot, but a nurse, an actual nurse. I mean, she sat there and, no, wait, you're doing that wrong. Here, let me show you. Yeah, stop the procedure. This woman doesn't know what she's doing. She's incompetent. And then after, oh, crap, there's bubbles in there. Well, yeah. She didn't know how to do it. Anyway, she got caught pretty quick, so at least, you know, there's that.
And now for the weather from Trixie Turner.
It's freezing cold.
And now for the weather from Trixie Turner.
It's freezing cold.
Well, this guy gave his phone to his wife for her to take care of or keep or hold or whatever while he was undergoing a medical procedure. So while she's waiting on that, she decided to snoop in his phone, and guess what? Oh, no. There's videos of their teenage babysitter in the bathroom. Yeah. Whoops. A Tennessee man who asked his wife to hold his phone while undergoing a medical procedure has been criminally charged after she allegedly found videos of a teenage babysitter in their bathroom. She didn't find videos in the bathroom, the videos of her in the bathroom, using it. Christopher Thomas Collins is charged with 9 counts of sexual exploitation of a minor. Collins was arrested after his wife reported the alleged secret recordings to authorities, citing an arrest report. Local 3, the news outlet, reported that Collins is accused of setting up hidden cameras in the bathroom and recording the teen while she was naked. WTVC reported that a police affidavit says Collins' wife had suspected her husband was cheating, so she went through his phone during the medical procedure. The woman told investigators that after finding the alleged recordings in a hidden folder on his phone, she eventually went to the church where she served as a deacon for guidance. She was reportedly advised to go to the place. WSET reported that the woman told investigators she first deleted the files, then later took screenshots from the recently deleted photo to document what she had found. She also alleged that Collins initially told her he installed the cameras to look for rats. And by a staggering coincidence, according to WDEF, the wife turned over SD cards from the cameras to the police, who claimed they found 9 videos of the teen during a subsequent search. In a statement to the outlet, Collins' church, Abba's House, acknowledged the incident. Through the course of a marriage counseling session, Chris Collins' wife revealed that she had found videos on her husband's phone of a minor. The church said of the wife's allegations per the outlet, "We immediately reported it to the police, and they are handling the situation. We are caring for his wife and kids during this tragic time." Chris Collins had been a member of the church for 4 years and served as a deacon. He has been removed from that role. It was not immediately clear if Collins has entered a plea or retained an attorney. Don't worry, he will. So, there you go. Yeah, he didn't think this through. Yeah, that's the thing. You go through all that trouble. He's got you setting up cameras. You got to see this girl naked. All that stuff. And then it's just like, here, honey, hold my phone. Dumbass. Oh, well, it's all for the best. Creepy bastard.
And now for the weather from Trixie Turner.
It's freezing cold!
Well, an elderly man went out for a walk, and he ended up getting stabbed, all because he made eye contact with a random stranger. Well, stick around. There's a lesson here. A 53-year-old man in California will spend nearly a decade behind bars for stabbing an elderly stranger on a hiking trail late last year after the victim made eye contact with the assailant. Superior Court Judge Elizabeth Tucker ordered Jacob Ethan Masters to serve 8 years in a state correctional facility for the unprovoked attack. Tucker handed down the sentence after Masters reached a deal with the Riverside County District Attorney's Office and pled guilty to 1 count of cruelty to an elder adult, resulting in great bodily harm and an enhancement for injuring an individual over 70 years old. In exchange for pleading guilty, prosecutors dropped several related charges against Masters, including attempted murder and resisting a peace officer. Why? Why do they make these deals? I mean, it sounds like a pretty strong case. I mean, No, he was trying to kill this guy. Well, anyway, according to a news release from Palm Springs Police Department, officers at about 2:40 p.m. on December 31st, 2025, responded to a reported stabbing on the CV Link, a pathway for pedestrians and low-speed electric vehicles off Cathedral Canyon Drive in the city of Palm Springs. Authorities said the victim called 911 and told an emergency dispatcher that they had been attacked at about 11:30 a.m. that day. In an interview with investigators, the victim said he was walking on the hiking trail when he made eye contact with a man on the trail as they passed. The victim said that about 15 minutes later, as he was headed toward home, the suspect was still in the area. The suspect reportedly put on a ski mask. It's a little late after you've already seen it. Well, anyway, and he approached while yelling profanities and assaulted the victim, knocking him to the ground. The victim fought back, and the suspect fled on foot. After the altercation, the victim learned he had been stabbed. The victim was treated at a Coachella Valley hospital for non-life-threatening injuries and was later released. I suppose they could throw that in as, hey, he wasn't hurt that bad, so you can't charge him with attempted murder. That's not the point. The point is the attempt, not his level of success at the act. Anyway, evidence collected, including witness statements and a 1.5-second video clip appearing to show the assailant, led detectives to identify Masters of Palm Springs as the primary suspect. On January 11th, officers located Masters in the 5600 block of E. Ramon Road. When officers attempted to detain him, Masters fled the area on foot and was apprehended following a brief chase. He was then transported and booked into the Larry D. Smith Correctional Facility. Well, he looks nuts to me in his mugshot, so I'm going with he's nuts. Now, okay, of course, you can never be entirely certain, but the rule of thumb here is don't make eye contact with anybody. I know you want to live in a Pollyannish world where everyone's friendly and nice, and they're all civilized and have just the basics of courtesy and whatnot. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Just assume everyone is a monster. And be about your business. Even so, he probably could have not have looked, and that would piss the nut off too. Why won't you look at me? So he puts a ski mask on that he just happened to have, and stabs the man. Yeah. Anyway, he got a deal. I don't think he should have. So we'll probably be visiting with this guy sometime later in the future. Oh, yeah.
And now for the weather from Trixie Turner.
It's freezing cold. When is Target of FB next time?
Who killed Buddy the rabbit? So we've got a dead rabbit. And as the gravedigger's burying it, he notices it's got a broken neck. How'd that happen? One word. Homicide. Why would anyone kill Buddy? Seems this Buddy the rabbit lived with quite a few people in that house there. First of all, you got Rob Saul.
No, I wouldn't hurt that little bunny. I mean, my daughter loved that rabbit. I wouldn't have anything to do with that.
I don't know what to make of this guy. I mean, right off the bat, I assumed he was gay. Turns out, though, that his alibi was that he was up all night for about 8 hours talking to some Felicia Fierce lady. And yet, he claims he's not in love with her.
Look, just because I talk to her a lot and I want to have sex with her all the time and I just want to be with her, that's not being in love. Come on, no.
If you can figure this guy out, you're a smarter man than I am. Then there's Ileana.
No, I didn't do it. When that was supposed to happen, I was occupied with a man. 'Cause I cannot pleasure myself, you know? I mean, that's what men are for anyway.
Now that's a likely story. But then again, what kind of psychosis is going on where you never pleasure yourself? Yeah, I gotta keep my eye on this one. Finally, we've got Maya. That's got guilty written all over it. The homicide investigation takes hard work and plenty of experience. Luck hardly has anything to do with it. And speaking of luck, look at poor Buddy. He had 4 rabbit feet. And look where that got him. In a hole in the backyard, that's where. Who killed Buddy? Tonight on Investigation Discovery.
Well, a former restaurant owner has been charged with murder on allegations she poisoned someone's drink. That's going to do wonders for her Yelp page. A North Carolina woman is facing murder and attempted murder charges for allegedly poisoning the drinks of at least 4 people, killing 2. Good Lord. On January 16th, Gudrun Casper Linnenkugel, Gudrun, maybe? Judrun? I don't know. 52 of Hendersonville was arrested and charged with murder in connection with the death of Leela Livis, 32, on December 1st. 2025, and with the attempted murders of Richard Pegg and Mia Lacey, the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation said. Detectives also found evidence allegedly linking Casper Linnenkugel to the 2007 death of Michael Schmidt in Henderson County. Casper Linnenkugel is charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder, 2 counts of attempted murder, and 3 counts of distribution of certain food and beverage prohibited. Okay, well. According to an arrest warrant obtained by People magazine, the authorities allege that Casper Linnenkugel distributed or otherwise caused to be placed in position of human accessibility or ingestion a beverage that contained the poisonous chemical acetonitrile, which might cause death or serious physical injury. Well, death is about as serious a physical injury as you can get. So anyway, acetonitrile, according to the EPA, is a clear, colorless liquid with a sweet ethereal odor. Wow. So it really freshens up the room, but it's deadly, you know. But I wonder if it tastes like really ethereal sweet, you know. That is used mainly as a solvent in the manufacture of pharmaceuticals. For spinning fibers and for the casting and molding of plastic materials and lithium batteries. Jeez Louise. According to the NIH, acetonitrile, that's probably how you pronounce it, is slowly converted to cyanide, which results in delayed toxicity. Wow. According to the arrest warrants, the authorities claim Casper Linnenkugel knowingly placed acetonitrile into the victim's beverages. Yeah, it's probably going to be a hard case to say it was an accident, you know, several times over. Casper Linnenkugel, she just like, look, it smells so good. I love this stuff. Anyway, Casper Linnenkugel allegedly killed Livis and Schmidt with malice aforethought. Casper Linnenkugel previously operated a restaurant in Asheville. She's currently being held in the Henderson County Detention Center after a judge denied her request for release. It is unclear how or if she knew her alleged victims. Maybe she's a serial killer. I don't know. It is unclear whether she has retained an attorney who can speak on her behalf. Well, they'll give her one if she doesn't. Meanwhile, anyone with information relevant to this investigation is asked to contact the Henderson County Sheriff's Office Violent Crime Unit by calling 828-694-2938. Yeah, that's the thing. So far, I don't know that there's any personal relationship here, that she knew these people and really was pissed off at them or something. And then there's that other crime that's much earlier. Yeah, she might be a serial killer. It's like, hey, I remember her. Hey, she was around the time my Uncle Joe died mysteriously and suddenly. Could be something like that. Wow. A poison lady. Yeah. But then again, it could be like it has a sweet ethereal smell. And she just loves it and wants to share it with the world. Well.
And now for the weather from Trixie Turner.
It's freezing cold.
Whoops. Got a little distracted there. All right, so there you go. That's your stories for Nailsin News. I don't know, this week, whatever. Let me go quick through these chat here. Frankfurt says, hi, Doug. I was hoping you'd go live before I went to bed. All right, I guess I did, huh? Frank says, I really want to ask you something. Well, Nodex has hit the like button. Yes, do that. Out of tune. These are the people the left wants us to protect and go to protest for. Yeah, the rock thrower. Yeah, that's out of time. He'll be out before lunch. Yes, he will be needing those new teeth for when he decides to bite people's heads off. Yeah, I mean, he says he's fighting the devil and the enemy or something. I don't know. Anyway, Pumpkin Spice Heroin. Hi, Pumpkin Spice Heroin. The old ladies always take their dogs with them. Yeah, but the dog is like, she just got the dog, and I'm, the dog's like, hey, wait a minute. Yeah. I guess it's like those mummified cats they would find with the pharaohs and stuff. I bet the cat wasn't really into that, but, well. Pumpkin Spice Heroin says, good God. Let me think. The guy whose daughter let him rot in the bed so that his bones were coming out of his back. Yeah. John the Beagle Dad says, good morning, Douglas. Well, good morning, John the Beagle Dad. Pumpkin Spice Heroin says, basic ethos of crazy people. How dare you look at me? Yes. Some of them seem very upset when even you watch their live streams. You would think they'd want the attention, but, well, whatever. Anyway, before I bring all this to a conclusion, otherwise known as the ending, I'll give you a little tour of Photoshop for some images I'm doing for 2 other shows. So watch how fast I'll get over there. Oh, there. See, I stumbled and messed it up. Yeah, I meant to go whoop, whoop, whoop. Yeah, whatever. You get the idea. Oh crap! I better make sure I can be heard. Come on. Yeah. I can. You just never know, All right. So this is my background. I typically use it a lot for the Anthony Cumia in-credit images. And if you were watching Pat's show, you saw me draw this image. Well, here's the color. There's Anthony shocked that Gavin wet his pants. Anthony's in, a green jacket. I don't know if he actually owns one or not, and then for Gavin, Well, I gave him, it's red, sure, but see, I put check marks in it. It's not quite a Scottish tartan at all, but it's the best I can do on short. See, because it makes it real easy. You go in and you use the pattern for the fill bucket, and you put that in there. You select it and put it in there. And then while it's all selected, you make a new layer and you add the color you want it to be. Yeah, pretty smart, huh? Pretty smart. And yeah, I figured things out. I really messed up his nose, though. I had to, and I still had to work on it once I moved it over to here. So anyway, so this was also utilized for the previous image, which featured this. Oh, look at Anthony. He's stuck in the snow with the snowman. And so that was basically it. So it's still there. So I brought the guys in there. So there they are. Oh, they're just floating in the air. How's that going to work? Oh, well, wait. Oops, not that just yet. There's the snow. And to add depth as to how much snow is there. Oh, my goodness, look at that. Boy, it's really piling up in the background. And then I used the bevel and emboss feature to add some definition here. And I gave it a sort of grayish, very light blue, very muted gray tone for the snow. And so there they are standing there. But, gee, why is Anthony so shocked or kind of perplexed at Gavin? Well, there you go. He's standing in yellow snow. Oh, my God, how can that be? Well, And here's the snow coming down. There you go. Yeah. And then for a little separation for the compound censored background, I put that there. And then there's the Mr. Nailsin logo. What is this? I don't even remember. Oh, that's from the other one. All right, so there we go. That will be the image for the Wednesday show where they talk to each other. Yeah, that's what they'll do. All right, for the Wednesday night show of Pop Culture Breakdown, apparently topics might include, the Masters of the Universe, trailer, teaser, whatever. Maybe the stupid Star Trek show. I only saw the first one. I'm not watching the rest of that crap, but it'll probably get discussed. I don't know. They were going to talk about Game of Thrones. I didn't watch the other Game of Thrones, the night story. I've seen the first 2 seasons of House of the Dragon, but I haven't seen this other one. So I did watch the first episode of The Rise of Merlin, the Pendragon cycle at Daily Wire. So I'll have to do a review of that. Anyway, there you go. And this is kind of stuff that was left over for the previous one. We got the dumb hippie captain from the Trek Academy, and she's curling up in her seat. And then Starship Porcelain streaking by with the Paramount Tower there. And so I left all that there, moved the Starship Porcelain over there, put Castle Grayskull, and then my drawing of He-Man. There's He-Man. And he says, I hope this movie's good. Yeah, well, hope's not a strategy, but maybe. I don't know. Probably not, though. So anyway, there you go. There's my effort for that image. And that's what I did. That's what I did for, these shows. So, all right. I think that will conclude our events for this broadcast day, which is odd because the days really are just getting started, huh? But not for me. It's late. I must go be unconscious, hopefully for 8 hours. I didn't get 8 hours last time, but here's hoping I will. Anyway, that's all. And boy, if I ever really can get to a daytime schedule one day, I don't know. I'll have to find a different room because you can see the sun blasting in here. That's why I'm even more pale than usual. I'm pretty pale. This is ridiculous. I don't even have the ring light on. And it don't look right. It don't. Anyway, that's a problem for another time, you know. What are you going to do? I'm not going to do anything about it right now. So there you go. There you go. I will be taking off to Sleepyland, and oh boy, won't that be fun. I got a super tip. Hallelujah. I've got a super tip. Am I all set up to? I think so. This is, yeah. I set it up before it even started the show. All right. Here we go.
The way you recount these appalling little nightmares, one almost expects a dinner-jacketed coroner to pour the sherry and apologize for the mess. It's ghastly and fascinating.
Once again, I tried to craft the voice for the Mason James, as I call him. I don't know. I got to work on that again. Yeah, it's not bad. It's pretty cool. But anyway, Pumpkin Spice Heroin, thank you very much for the super tip. It's greatly appreciated. Yeah, maybe I can't do a Peter Lorre, but that would be probably better for the subject matter, you know.
Oh, so the bones are coming out of his back. Well, isn't that fascinating? Yes.
Jeez. Oh, man. And I assume that was to rip off the guy, but couldn't you have at least done the basics of helping him out? Not let him sit there and, jeez. And if they weren't ripping him off, then what the hell? I don't know. I just forgot. It's hard to do. I don't know. DM me, Doug. I got you. Oh, for James Mason? Yeah. You know what? Yeah. Oh, I did see your, I was late getting to it. You had these different voices on Instagram. Yeah. So I did respond to it. I don't know if you saw it yet. And, yeah, we'll figure that out. And there we go. More voices for the Doug Nailsin Show. All of this is the Doug Nailsin Show. That's what I called the super tip thing. I couldn't think of anything else. Anyway, yeah, that'll be the deal. I'll have to, that's underway now, right? Where you can pay for new voices and stuff. I know that's the deal when it happened. But anyway, yeah, I'll get to that. And then I got to redo. Now that's on me. The Night and Boo Boo. Yeah, they don't sound right at all. And I'm just like, I'm going to have to emphasize it more. And speeding them up and stuff doesn't quite get it there either. So I don't know. I'll figure it out. But in the meantime, there's all the other ready-made voices, and I've activated all those. So if you want to use any of those, please do. I mean, sure, I want the money, but it's also cool. Come on, it's the best. Those are fun little things to play with. It's fun for you. It's fun for me. And then, of course, I get the money. Yeah, that's... So, speaking of money, perhaps I should... Oh, wait, I know what I can do. Finally figured this part out. There you go. See? Now you can see the little, put together of indieplanet.com/Douglas-Nelson. You go over there and you're going to be able to get copies of my comic book. Now, in that display, I don't have the Doodleverse comics in there. I guess I made it at a time before I put that together. But nevertheless, it's there. So you head over to IndiePlanet. Oh, wait, I could put that in the shot. Yes, the shot. Hang on, this won't take long. It's taking longer than I wanted it to. It's taking too long. Just go there. Oh, you piece of oh, here we go. It's fine. Now we'll put it in the link in there, and you should be seeing that. And there you go. Now you're all set. You can head over to indieplanet.com and get your Nailsin comics today. You don't want to delay about that. I mean, you can for, however long you want. It's not like they're, limited edition and then they'll be sold out and you never get one. Boy, that's something to think about. But no, that's not the deal. That's not, you could probably take your time. I shouldn't say that out loud, but I did. Now I'm screwed. Anyway, there you go. There's the Nailsin News Show. You're all caught up on the news those other networks won't cover. I mean, obviously, Law and Crime did. People magazine did. New York Post did. But I did too. So there. Anyway, I guess that'll do it. So thanks for watching. It makes all the work worth it. Because if you hadn't watched it, then I'm just some idiot babbling to himself in the corner of some room. It's my room. It's in my house. Yeah, I don't know where I'm going with that. But anyway, thanks again for watching. We will do it again soon. Hopefully I will, it's Wednesday Comics. Okay, there won't be a Wednesday Comics. Jesus. Ah, man, because I've also been working on Nailsin Show stuff. Okay, it'll have to be a Thursday Comics. And I'll get that. I don't know if it'll be live or not, but I'll do that. And then hopefully somewhere in between there, do some drawing streams, stuff like that. Won't that be fun? I would say so. I say so. And I did. So it's a done deal, as I say. Have a good rest of your day.
Selling butts, the buttholes don't been sold. Thugs breeding like bugs, or rather to go fingers, killers, killing it, killing it, killing it, killing it. Nailsin News, news. Where all the money go, ain't nobody gonna know. Do you trust your meat to take a walk down the street? While killers be killing and killing and killing and killing. Nailsin News. Where all the money go, ain't nobody gonna know. Do you trust your meat to take a walk down the street while killers be killing and killing and killing and killing? Nailsin News.